Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and a fascinating idea today by Ulrim. This could turn out to be a bit mathematical, and I'm not entirely... I think it probably will. But it might be simple maths or it might not. We will find out. It's called Factor Map. I'll get to the rules in a moment. Now, don't forget that on Patreon on the 1st of August, that's the release date for a new puzzle pack of Sudoku variants. And we're really looking forward to bringing that to you. Also, of course, in the links under the video, you can find your way to our merchandise. Look at that, Cracking the Cryptic cap, which I wore on holiday a lot and attracted no attention at all. And also there's Sven's Sudoku Pad and all of our apps which feature Killer Sudoku. Now this is a sort of Killer Sudoku, but not very like it. So check out the links under the video. But the first link is to Factor Map by Ulrim, and a debut for Ulrim on the channel. And I'm going to go through the rules now, and I think you'll be surprised. Normal Sudoku rules apply, 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Within cages, digits cannot repeat. Each cage has a value equal to the sum of all the digits it contains. So far, so absolutely normal, but you will notice there are no given digits in the puzzle, and there are no numbers in any of the cages, no totals. Colour each cage one of 4 colours. Cages of the same colour cannot share sides, although they may touch corner to corner, so they can be diagonally attached but not orthogonally. All cages with the same colour have sums whose prime factorizations contain the same set of prime factors. For example, I think this example is going to matter. If a red cage equals 20, which is 2 times 2 times 5, then all other red cages must have a prime factorization of 2 times x times 5 times y. And I think x and y can be any number there. They must have a 2 in their factors and some number of 2's, and a 5 in their factors and some number of 5's. Yes, and then it goes on to say, for example, 10, 20, 40, 50, 80, 100, etc. could all be valid. 25 would not be valid because there are no 2's in it. 30 would not be valid because 3 is one of its factors. So cages of the same colour share common factors, and they share them all, but in potentially differing quantities, which is really strange. Oh, and just to continue that example, if one of the cages was 20 and so its factors were 2 and 5, oh yeah, no other coloured cage could have a 2 or a 5 in its prime factorizations. Okay, I hadn't understood that. That would be very limiting, but it's the cage totals that are being factorized, not the digits within them. Okay, well, I think I understand the rules, although I may be reconsulting them as we go along. I mean, it's a brilliant grid, like just some cages, no numbers, and apparently we can solve this uniquely. It's a brilliant idea. Give it a try on the first link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, how do we start? Now, sometimes we find cages. Okay, there are 3 interesting boxes to me. This is one of them, because every cell is in a cage, and there are 4 different cages. Now, this may be more profitable because there are 4 dominoes. Oh, and 3 of them touch each other. But this cage is also interesting because 8 of the digits are in one cage. Oh, no. No, you're right. This is the interesting cage. Forget the boxes. This cage is 9 cells big. We know it's total. There is a rule, isn't there? Within cages, digits cannot repeat. Virtually the first rule. So this cage adds up to 45. Right, well, we know that the factors of 45 are 3 and 5. It's 3 times 3 times 5. So we're going to colour this. Red was the colour mentioned. So we're going to colour this red. And red's factors Ah, yeah, red's factors are 3 and 5. Now, red, yeah, this wasn't the interesting group of cells or cages that touch each other. I think this group is more interesting because don't all of these cages touch each other? The red touches each of the other ones. That touches all of 3 other ones. So does that. So does that. So these are the 4 different colours. Therefore, these 3 cages are the other 3 colours, which I'm going to make blue, green, and yellow. Shall I just fill them in randomly, or is that not going to help? Maybe I need to know more about the numbers. Maybe I need to think about this cage, which touches the red cage just, but that's enough here. So let's make that blue. Now, what does it add up to? And the answer is 45, which is the sum of the digits of 1 to 9. I don't know if I mentioned that that's a closely guarded secret, but I've let you in on it now by accident. So apologies about that, but there you go. Now you're a guardian of the secret too. So this box adds up to 45. If we take out that cell, which is anywhere from 1 to 9, then blue, this blue cage, adds up to somewhere between 36 and 44. But some of those are straight away ruled out, because some of them have 3 as a factor and some of them have 5 as a factor. Let me just aid memoir these. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40 to 44. So these are all the possible totals. Actually, yeah, I think all 9 are possible. Yeah, okay. But some of them have 3 as a factor. That's going to rule out those because they're not allowed. If red has 3 as a factor, blue doesn't. Also 5 as a factor is ruled out, so that one's gone as well. Now, 37 is a big old prime. If 37 was the colour of blue, and there must be a blue, in fact that must be blue, because blue touches those cages, and we worked out that these are blue, yellow and green. That's blue. Well, it can't add up to 37 and it would have to add up to at least 37 or 37 squared, because 37 is prime. So there's sort of maths in this. I don't think it can be 40, aren't 41 and 43 both primes? Yes, they are. They're ruled out as well. And, okay, so blue is either 38 or 44. Okay, let's get rid of the aid memoirs because I can remember those 2 numbers. Now, if it is 38, I'm going to rule that out, actually, because that is 2 times 19. Now, although those factors are allowed, they don't clash with any of the red factors. This cage would have to have 2 and 19 as factors, and would be at least 38. Well, it's only 3 cells, so that's not possible. So this cage has a sum of 44. That digit is a 1. And the factors of blue are 2 and 11. And now we know what this cage is. It's clearly 22. Isn't this bloomin' genius? That is such a clever start. I'm going to get rid of these totals at some point and just kind of remember them, but this is so interesting. Now, can we add up? Now we've had, red has 3 and 5 used from factors. Blue has 2 and 11. So the only factors available for green and yellow start at 7, not 9, not 11, 13, 17, and other prime numbers higher than that. So, what can these 2 cages add up to? Let's say they were 7 and 13. The next prime number higher is 17. If these were 7 and 13, that's 20, plus 22 is 42. That would be a 3, and you can't go higher. They have to be a 7 and a 13. And this one can't be the 7 because of that 1. So this adds up to 13. Let's make that yellow and that green. So this one has a sum of 13. This one has a sum of 7. And now we know what the factors are for red, blue, green and yellow. Red uses 3 and 5, blue uses 2 and 11, green uses 7, and yellow uses 13. Wow, this is crazy times. But it really gives us a way in, and it's really, really interesting. And we know this digit is a 3, by the way, because we did that maths. 22, 35, 42 plus 3 is 45. So we can get a little bit of Sudoku done. It's so funny. Okay, this is either green or yellow because it touches red or blue. So it either adds to 7 or 13. I mean, we can rule out 7 times 7, which is 49, and 13 times 13, which is 169. They're too big to have all of the Sudoku digits. I mean, I noticed in the example in the rules, 50, 80, and 100 were all impossible anyway. So this adds up to 7 or 13. So does... No, yes. This, right, the minimum for a red cage is 3 times 5 is 15. The minimum for a blue is 22, 2 times 11. The minimum for a yellow is 13. So this cage is green and is 7. Look at these weird, sporadic odd digits that I've placed in the grid. That's so strange. Now, this can still be green by the rule. In fact, maybe we can add up. If that was green, those add up to 14. This could be 15 or... Yeah, the only red total it could be is 15 because the next highest is 45. That's so strange. Blue, it could be 22. It couldn't be 44 in 5 cells. So this is either 15 or 22. Could it be 13? No, that's too small. 15 or 22 here. 7 or 13 here. It's hard to do the maths. Let's say this was, 7, 7 and 15 comes up way short of the 45 for the box. It's only 29. That's no good. 7, 7 and 22, that might still be short as well. 14, 36, no, that would leave a 9 here. So it could be 7, 7 and 22. Or it could be 7, 13 and 22. Except that's just the same as this cage. Blue, green and yellow at their minimum leaves 3. And I can't put another 3 in red. So have I actually worked out that this is 7, 7 and 22? I think I have. I'm going with it. Can't control my pencil marking. This is a 7. This is green. Its total is 7. Okay. And this digit, 1436, is a 9. I don't think there is another possibility for this box. Because that can't be 3. I think this is right. Okay. Now, actually, maybe I will look at this group of... This group, they all touch each other. They're all different. So the minimum ones they can be are 7, 13, and 22. Those are the minimum 3 denominations, just like here. Aren't they? To be 3 different ones? No. 15 is red. 7, 13 and 22 would be too many because that would only leave 3 over for the cage, just like in the middle box. So that's wrong. So one of these is red and is 15, which is the minimum value for a red cage. So let's say the others were 13 and 7. Which is 20, that would leave 10 for here. And the only way to put a blue cage in here would be if there was a red 15 and a blue 22 Well, you can't have 22 in a 2-cell cage. Oh, that's really interesting. None of the cages in this box are blue. So this group of them is red, green, and yellow, and definitely add up to 35. And this set of cells therefore adds up to 10, but it includes a cage, which must be a 7 cage, and we get 3 in the corner. There's another random odd digit stuck in the puzzle, and it's having a little party. So that's green. These are red, green, and yellow in some order. That one. Oh, well, let's have a look at this baby, because this can't be green now. It can't be blue, because blue would be at least 22. It's touching red and green. So that's yellow and adds up to 13. Oh, this puzzle is brilliant. This is so clever, such fun, and such madness. Now, these don't include blue. They are red, green, and yellow. Well, this one touches green and yellow, so that's red. These two, though, I don't know. One's green and one's yellow. The red one adds up to 15. Let's see what we can keep doing with these cages. Well, this touches... okay, maybe it only touches yellow. But this group of 3 touch each other. And don't we have the same situation? Not quite, because this could be 22. This could be blue. Oh, it's so strange. I'm just thinking, though, this can't be blue. So it's not 22 or 44. If it was yellow, it's 13. Now, that is possible. If it was green, it's 7 or 49. Neither of those are possible. So it's either red adding up to 15 or yellow adding up to 13. Okay, let's go back here. This could be blue. If it's not blue, I think we have the same situation as here. We have to have red, green, and yellow there, adding up to 35, and this pair would add up to 10, which is very feasible, to be fair. Oh, let's do some Sudoku. Actually, this might be a sensible time to get rid of these corner markings, because we're going to put enough information in these cages in a moment to not need them. Right, I'm thinking about where 1 goes in this box. It doesn't go here by Sudoku. It doesn't go in a 22 cage because there's no way. So it's in one of these cells. That is a 6-1 pair. This adds up to 22 now without a 6 in it. So that is 985. And now this cage is 247, which does add up to 13. Now this cage, which also adds up to 13, doesn't have a 7 or a 4 in it. That is a 5-8 pair. And now we don't, now I can just look at that cage and know 13 is the yellow total, 7 is the green. We know that 15 or 45 is the red total. Oh, look, this digit's a brilliant naked single. It sees 5, 8, 2, 4, 7, 1 in the row and 3 and 9 in its box already, which is hard to notice. But there we go. We can fill in those digits. This is already adding up to 44. I don't need the total there. And this is 22s. Now, I can take that out as long as I remember that this adds up to 7, which I'm just going to remember. And down here we have another one adding up to 7. This one doesn't have a 3 in it, so it's either 1, 6 or 2, 5. Now there's another one of those greens here, which is the other digits from 1, 2, 5 and 6. So there's either a quadruple there or a quadruple there, and now there's not a 6 in this 15 cage, which is a 7, 8 pair. And the remaining digits left over for whichever one of these is yellow are 4 and 9. Whoa, this is interesting. Right. Now, I've got to come back to these ones, because the other cages that we haven't really looked at are too disconnected, I think. Well, or are they? This now can't add up to 15, because we couldn't use 7 or 9. That's interesting. So it's not red. It's not blue because it's touching blue. If it's yellow, it's 13 made up of 8, 5. And if it's green, it's 7. Although that could be 1, 6 or 2, 5. It's either green or yellow. Yeah, okay, I've got to look at these now. Now, can this be a 22 cage? That's a good question to ask. It couldn't be a 985 cage, or you'd have too many 589s in the central column. So it could be a 976 cage. Now, that would rule out any of these being 13. Actually, they're both ruled out for being 13 anyway. Oh, that's interesting, because they both touch yellow. So these are at least a 7 and a 15. Ah, okay, bingo. That neither of these can be yellow. So they're at least green and red would be the two smallest, is 22. Now, if this was a 22 cage, that would only leave 1 for these 2 digits. That's impossible. So this is not a blue 22 cage. These are now a red, green, and yellow set, adding up to, we've done this before, and I've forgotten it, 15, 7, and 13, 35. This pair adds up to 10 to make up the total. These are red, green, and yellow. Right, those two are red and green. This one is the yellow one that adds up to 13. These are red and green in some order. 13. There's lots of ways of making up 13, but 7 and 15. Well, if that's red, it's a 6-9 pair, but if this is red, it's a 7-8 pair. This one because of that cell, this one because of those. That's really weird. I'm going to have to think about this, which is not yellow because it now touches yellow. It's not blue because it's not big enough to be 22. It could be red adding up to 15, but it can't have a 9 in it. It would very specifically have to be 8, 7 if it was red, and otherwise it's green, which is definitely going to make that yellow. And that would then be an 8-5 pair. And this then couldn't have a 5 or a 3 in it and would be a 1-6 pair. So if this is green, it's a 1-6 pair. And if it's yellow, it's not yellow. If it's red, it's an 8-7 pair in that order. That's such a weird pairing. I don't know how to use that. Let's try and do some sudoku. I don't think this is any use. I mean, that could be blue, green, or yellow, and these ones, who knows what's going on. But sudoku. Sudoku is our friend. Three, 9, 1. This is 13 or 15, isn't it? Maybe let's keep focusing on the colours. This is not yellow. Oh, sorry, I didn't turn off the email notifications. There we go. This is not yellow. We know that. It can't be blue. This is red or green. That's the basis on which I've pencil marked it. Right, so if this was red, these would add up to 14. These would now be green and add up to 7. That's 21. And this would be yellow and add up to 13. That's 34. These would add up to 11. That is plausible. The alternative is that these are yellow and add up to 12. There are options for how that could be done. 2, 4, 6 is just one of them. I think there are 3 options. So I need to do something else. Okay, fair enough. What am I going to do? I'm going to place 3 in this box because it can't be in this red cage. Then there's a 3 in one of those cells. Same sort of thing going on. 3 down here. Now, it's either in a green cage with a 4. It's not in a red cage, but it could be in a 13 yellow cage there. Not sure. Anyway, let's go back to this box. 5, 8, 6, and 3. In fact, where's 3 in this row? Oh yeah, that's good. It's not there or there by sudoku. And it's not there because of killer. So it's here. That's a 3, 4 pair. Now where's 4 in red? It's in one of these cells. Oh, I was going to take out the total markings. So 4 is in one of those cells. Now where's 4 in box 7? It's right there. And that was in the 4 was going to be in a 4, 9 yellow cage. So that one has gone yellow. Ah, this is great. This one goes green and doesn't have a 6 in. So that's the 6, 1 pair. This is the 2, 5 pair. But the fact that it's green means this is red and adds up to 15 and is not 7, 8. It's 6, 9. This is now not red, it's green and adds up to 7 and is not 6, 1. Unlikely to be 2, 5 for uniqueness reasons, but never mind about that. At least we know it's green, it adds up to 7. This adds up to 13. And what was the total? 20, 35. These add up to 10. And they're not 3, 7. Oh, they don't have a 3 or a 6 or a 9 in. They are 2, 8. Right, that's handy. That's good maths. So this is now a 3, 4 cage, and this must be 1, 5, 7, which does add up to 13. Hurrah. That one can't be a 1. This one also can't be a 4 now. 1, 5, 7. Now, this is either 1, 6 or 8, 7. We worked out earlier, and we do know that this is now not green, this is yellow, so that is 8, 5. Now this doesn't have 8 and 7 in it, and therefore it's green. 1, 6. This can still be yellow. I'll come back to that. The 1 is here. This is 2 or 8, but there's an 8 in the box already, so that's 2. Now we get to do a bit of sudoku in rows what's it and thingy. Rows 7 and 8. That's 3 or 4. This is a 9 here. It's got to be. These are from 3, 4, 7. Now, this total, which is either 13 or 15, and we've already got 12, needs an odd digit there, and 3 is the only one that will do. It's 15, and this is red. And this is going to sort out all the sudoku in the bottom 3 rows, I think. Not quite all, actually, but a huge chunk of it. And there. This is 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, which must add up to 22, and does. Okay, now we've got some other boxes. We've got a bit of cages. We've got a bit of sudoku. Right, 3, 4, 9. We need a 6 in this row, and it's got to be there in row 3. And whatever else is here is also here. You can see that this cage, the digits it has not in row 3 are 3, 4, 6 and something else. And the digits that row 3 has that are not in the cage are 3, 4, 6 and something else. So that digit is in one of those 2, and therefore is also in one of these 3. And it can't be 8, and it can't be 4 from that cell, and it can't be 8 from wherever it appears here because of that 5, 8 pair. So it is a 7. That's such strange logic. It's odd. What's odd to me is that we haven't used that sort of logic very often at all. But it must be 7, 7, 7. Right, so now we can put in a 1. This is a 2, 9 pair. That 1 sorts out the green cage here. 6, 1. This 5, 8 cage has been resolved. This is a 2, 9 pair. Now that's interesting. We've got a 2, 9 pair in this cage. So they must be a 2 and a 9. They add up to 11 plus 7 is 18. Well, we're going to need a sum. We're over 15. We're not going to get to 45. I presume we have to get to 22 now. Yeah, we've beaten 7 and 13. We're not allowed to square those. Yeah, it's got to be a 4, and this is blue, 22. And that 4 makes this a 5, and this cage is clearly not 14, it's 7, which is a good number, one that we kind of expect to see. So that's a 9. In the same cage, that's a 2, that's a 9, that's a 9, that's 5, that's 8, 6 and 9. We get to do all kinds of lovely Sudoku moves. And we've just got one cage left to really think about. Oh, that can't be a 4. So that's a naked 1, good. That's a naked 6, that's strange. We can just find digits now. 9, 8, 6. This row, we need 2, 8 and 5, that's 8 there, 2, 5 pair. This is a 3, 1 pair. This cage, I don't want to do the maths yet. Oh look, there's a 2, 5, 7 triple that's going to save me from doing some of the maths. So I can now fill in 8 and 9 in the column. That's a naked 3. Okay, now I'm prepared to do the maths. 9 plus 7 would be a useless 16. So we add 4, we get 13. That goes yellow. We've coloured all the cages. We've loved colouring the cages, I'm going to add, because I have. This is such a good puzzle. I really like how it goes. So clever. That 3 sorts out 1 and 3. Now we can finish off, I think. This is a 1, 6, 8 triple. We'll get back to that. We can do 2 and 5 there. That's not resolved, but it will be. We've got a 1, 6 pair in column 7. So that's a 2, 4 pair. There we go. 5, 8, 6, 7, 6, 8, 1, 6 and 1. What a fabulous puzzle. Factor map. Oh, I better finish off this 2, 5 pair as well. There we go. What a genius bit of work. Really, really lovely stuff. Well done, Ulrim. That's brilliant. Right up my alley, and I enjoyed that a lot. Thank you for watching, as always, on the channel. Hope to see you again soon, maybe tomorrow. But as it is, bye for now.